In the 90s, no two NBA teams have accounted for more success. But while the Sonics have grown accustomed to winning under George Karl, their playoff ledger still contains painful memories of underachievement endured in the first-round disappointments of '94 and '95. Last year, Seattle shrugged off their skeptics and advanced to the finals, rising to meet the challenge of Chicago, but falling in 6 games. Chicago has long placed its fortunes in the hands of one man, and has he delivered? His postseason heroics have enabled the Bulls to capitalize on their regular season dominance, turning hard work into hardware. Last season's championship run capped Jordan's triumphant return to the game he loved and gave Chicago their 4th title in the last 6 seasons. Will they do it again this year? We have it on good authority they might. When the NBA schedule was published last summer, you might have taken a peek at the 18th of March and said, hey, that looks like a good night to stay home. Well, that night is here, and we are at the United Center, 2 miles west of the Loop in downtown Chicago, Illinois, for the 2nd meeting of the season between the 2 teams who met for the NBA championship 1 year ago. It's Game 2 in 1997 between the Seattle Sonics and the Chicago Bulls. Good evening, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist, and welcome to the 470th consecutive Chicago Bulls sellout. We're glad to have you with us. I know it's an 82-game season. Some games are more deserving of respect than others, and this is one of those nights. I'm joined, as always, by Doc Rivers. Doc, 2nd meeting of the season this year. In any way, is this a statement game?
Well, it is a statement game, but it's not a statement for the Bulls. They've made enough statements over the years. But for the Sonics, that's another story. They would love to win tonight in this building. They want to make a statement, but the statement would not be towards the Bulls. It would be for themselves. They want to prove that they can win in this building.
Well, Chicago has the best record in the NBA, of course, the best in the East. Seattle currently with the 2nd best record in the West. They are playing without Detlef Schrempf, the Bulls without Tony Kukoc. How have the 2 teams responded?
Well, it's interesting. It's simple math here. They're both the 3rd options on both teams. With Seattle, they have Hersey Hawkins, and he has stepped in and done a great job. His points are up, his field goal percentage is up, so he's done the job. The Bulls, on the other hand, they have a tough problem. They don't have a 4th guy to go to. They try to do it by committee. Steve Kerr and Luka Longley have to be the guys because no one knows when Tony Kukoc will be back.
When these 2 teams met for the first time back in February in Seattle, George Karl provided the motivation for a rather spectacular Michael Jordan evening. He said he didn't think Jordan wanted to go inside anymore.
I'm not scared to go anywhere on the court as long as it's 94 feet.
I don't think I've ever said that. I think you can interpret what I said as that. And what I said was basically he's shooting a lot of jump shots and he doesn't seem like he's going to the rim and taking hits.
The NBA on TV.
Last night, what's up?
Well, Ernie, a complaint was filed at 1:45 this morning against Gary Payton with the Chicago Police Department by a limousine driver who claims he was punched in the left side of the face by Payton after an altercation over the limo bill. Now, Payton denies that it happened. I went to police headquarters this afternoon and got a copy of the inquiry, and it says that the alleged incident happened at 9 o'clock last night, nearly 4 hours before the complaint was filed, and it happened in the parking lot of a Fairmont Hotel. I went to the Fairmont Hotel. There is no record of any altercation. Neither are there any witnesses from the Bell staff or the security. I was able to track down this limo driver in Brookfield, Illinois, where the company is, and he claims he was hit. However, I did not see any evidence whatsoever, and when pressed, he said he had pictures and a signature. But all the pictures indicate was that he was a limo driver, and all the signature indicates is that Payton did pay a bill. So right now, the police, they cannot follow up on it whatsoever until the limo driver fills out a summons, which he is refusing to do. He merely wants to talk to a lawyer. Ernie?
All right, thank you, Siggs. Craig Sager working the cop shop in Chicago. We'll be back at halftime to run down the Tuesday night hoops around the NBA, but coming right up, we'll blow back into the Windy City as Sean Kemp and the Sonics hook up with MJ and the Bulls. We'll see you at halftime.
For the Chicago Bulls. Chicago comes in 56-9. Seattle 45-19. The Sonics wrapping up a 4-game road trip. They head home tonight. Chicago second in a row at home. Most recently, they lambasted Atlanta here Saturday night.
Yeah, they played great that game, and Michael Jordan got a lot of rest. Much has been made about the Bulls lately, and they're getting old, is what everyone's saying. They're struggling, is what everyone is saying. They've been 7-3 over the last 10. That's not struggling to me.
There's the first foul of the game, called on Michael Jordan. Well, Chicago on the last road trip. Take a look at the drive by Gary Payton.
Yeah, that's just great quickness. He's attacking. I think he's attacking because he saw who was guarding him at the beginning of the game. No one knew would Michael guard Gary at the beginning. He did on that play, and Gary took it to him. They would really like to make him work as much as possible.
First 2 free throws successfully converted by Gary Payton. And here is Scottie Pippen, picked up by Larry Stewart. Gary Payton opens on Michael Jordan. He'll be the first of a quartet of guys who will defend Jordan tonight.
Yeah, George Carl was telling us this morning he's going to try to put everybody in the kitchen sink on Michael today.
Interesting, here's the rebound in the hands of Larry Stewart. And the quick outlet pass picked off by Ron Harper. 3-on-2, Pippen has it. Finds Jordan, who is fouled by Larry Stewart and will shoot 2. Interesting, Doc, the difference in philosophy each time you play Michael Jordan. Jeff Van Gundy said he wanted to let Michael have all of his points. Go ahead and take this.
So just looking at Ron Harper playing the lanes, the Bulls try never to allow long court passes for guys to start their offense, and that's what Seattle tries to do. If you miss, they want to throw that ball down court as long as possible to get into their break early and get into their offense.
I think George Karl may have memories of the 45 points that Michael scored in game 1 between these two, but I don't think he wants to let Michael have all his points.
No, and just picking up what you were saying, it is interesting. Every time we do the Bulls, the coach has a different philosophy on how to stop Michael Jordan. This is the bottom line. There's no one way. You have to try them all, and then you have to pray.
Yeah, knees help, don't
yes, they do.
Knees humble and a humble posture. Offensive foul is called on Michael Jordan. That's a quick 2. And that brings some derisive shouts from the audience.
Well, you knew that would from Chicago fans. They're just being Chicago fans.
Gary Payton guarded by Jordan. Rodman has McIlvain illegal defense. First illegal defense called.
Interesting strategy putting Michael Jordan starting out on Gary Payton. If you remember in the finals, the guy who did the best job on Gary Payton was Ron Harper. And when he missed those games, the Bulls struggled.
Here's Kemp from way outside. Rodman with the first rebound of the night. Quick outlet pass to Scottie Pippen. Underneath to Jordan. McIlvain knocks it away. Here comes Seattle. Hersey Hawkins has it. Playing back at home. He's a Chicago native from the corner. Larry Stewart for 2.
He's making us a believer. The last game I did with Larry Stewart, he made his first 2 from the 3. So I changed my thought on him. He can make that shot.
Had a quick 5-1 Seattle lead. Here's Longley. Normally they try and get some plays for him, and there's his first shot of the night. They drew that early on. Here's Longley, and it's taken away by Hersey Hawkins. He's got Payton left side. Gary Payton up, no good. Rebound Rodman. Outlet pass Pippen. Here's Michael Jordan, who goes right by McIlvain. Hello.
Well, that answers all questions about dead legs. He can still get up.
5-3 after Jordan's dunk. Hersey Hawkins, 4-3, got it.
You cannot give Hersey Hawkins time. He's been playing great basketball since Detlef Schrempf has been out. He's the guy who has taken up the slack.
Having seen him, here's a double from Hersey Hawkins going over to help on Jordan. Now back to Ron Harper. Hits the front rim, and here comes Gary Payton. It's a 2-on-3. McIlvain is down in the corner. Here's Payton jumper, good.
You're going to see this all night. If you miss, if Seattle gets it, they're going to try to score. George Karl has a theory, and I like it. You try to score in the first 9 seconds of the offense or the last 9 seconds of the offense, and that's a pretty good philosophy.
That's what Cleveland does, right?
the last 5 seconds.
Rodman with a shot. Here's McIlvain trying to guard. Well,
yeah. Well, trying is the key thing there. That's a tough position for anybody except for Jimmy. He's a great defensive player, being a Marquette grad that I am, and I had to throw that in there.
How'd they do in the tournament?
No comment.
Didn't stick around too long. Oh, boy. What a beauty from Pippen.
And you can see Pippen's eyes right now from the beginning of this game. He wants to make a statement that he can play tonight. 5
points Seattle lead. Kemp guarded by Longley. Rodman with his third rebound here in the early going.
And that's 2 jumpers from Sean Kemp. The Bulls would take that all night. If he's going to shoot jump shots, the Bulls are going to allow him to shoot them.
Entry pass to Longley, who turns and goes baseline. Now the up and under move is good.
Nice move, and they need a little bit more. You know, they usually go to Luke Longley at the beginning of games, but now with Kukoc out, they're going to go to him more than just at the beginning of games.
Lead is 3. Payton picked up by Jordan. Pick and roll with McIlvain. Switch from Rodman. Now he gets back underneath to pick up McIlvain. Oh, nice jump stop. And the hop from Kemp, and the basket is good.
And that's what he has to do, is attack the basket. He can settle for a jumper all night.
Jordan, double team, comes on the first dribble. Underneath, nice pass from Pippen to Longley.
Ball movement. They are the best. Moving the ball around, and that's why they're the world champion.
Lead is cut to 3. Now the pick and roll with McIlvain and Payton again. Kemp gets the pass, tries to go by Longley. On the line.
Take a look at Scottie Pippen here. First, here's a baseline move. But he does it in so many other ways, not only passing and scoring. Look at that. That's a great pass to Luke Longley. Plays defense, does it all.
Pippen picked up by Larry Stewart. Now Longley. Rodman with the backdoor cut. Jordan tries to get loose. Hawkins is on him now. Harper for 3. Jordan with the rebound. Finds Longley, who wasn't expecting the pass.
No, and Michael Jordan was not happy either about that. That was a great pass. But it's not a great pass if the guy doesn't catch it, Brian.
Larry Stewart, no basket. Offensive foul. Sean Kemp with an offensive foul. That brings George Karl out to the court. Time has been called.
Somebody else play, not allow him to be isolated or play one-on-one basketball. I think majority of the times you see him with the ball, there will be somebody coming to try and make somebody else play out on the weak side. And with Tony Kukoc out, the perimeter shooting is limited for them.
Now George Karl started with Gary Payton on Michael, then switched to Hersey Hawkins. You will see Nate McMillan and David Wingate and Craig Elo, perhaps.
And what you'll see is double teams. That's what they're going to do with Michael tonight. And no one lets anyone score 45. He takes the 45 usually, but they're going to make him work. They're going to make Scottie Pippen beat them from the outside and others. Missing Tony Kukoc is big for the Bulls because now people are going to throw everybody they can at Michael, run one guy at Scottie and say somebody else beat me. Well, that's the guy that usually beats him is Tony. He's not there, so someone else is going to have to step up.
Kukoc has missed 8, may not be back for a while yet. Strained arch in his right foot. Gary Payton with the last foul. Now Pippen will inbound. These 2 quick fouls on Michael Jordan, have they affected him so far, you think?
I think if you watch him play, he looks a little tentative. 2 fouls are really tough. It's really interesting that he's still in the game. I think that's a good gamble by Phil Jackson.
Jordan misses the jumper. McIlvain with the rebound into the hands of Sean Kemp. Hersey Hawkins hustles down. Larry Stewart is open, but they don't see him.
But I tell you what, Gary Payton knows that Michael Jordan has 2 fouls, and they should attack Michael Jordan to see if they can get him out of the game. Because if he gets that 3rd foul, now he's probably out until the second half.
Kemp. Blocked by Longley. Blocked again by Longley. And this time, a 24-second shot clock violation. Luke Longley with 2 fine defensive plays.
Yeah, and he's big. Luke Longley is a big guy. If you think you can just shoot over him, you can't. Sean Kemp is a better athlete. Luke Longley is taller, and he's just standing there waiting to block the shot.
Under 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Alley-oop, Pippen, no. Hersey Hawkins comes out for Seattle. 3-on-3. Hawkins underneath the Larry Stewart, has to alter the shot because of Longley, but the tip is good.
And that's Seattle. They attack. Transition defense when you're playing the Seattle Supersonics is vital.
5-point Seattle lead. They have led throughout. Skip pass over to Ron Harper. Kemp out on him. Now they look for Pippen underneath. He's guarded by Hersey Hawkins. Payton's back on Jordan. Here's Harper for 3. Larry Stewart got there too late.
Yeah, he got there too late, but he's going to get this. Ron Harper's going to get a whole diet of those tonight. He's going to have to make them.
Harper, whose scoring average is way down from his career marks. Of course, it's receded each year he's been here in Chicago, and that one's off Rodman, back into the hands of Kemp. Now Payton. McIlvain didn't look like he wanted it, but
he didn't want it, didn't want to shoot it, but he made the shot. Sometimes when you don't think, Burn, the shot goes in.
McIlvain for a rare 2, and it's a 4-point lead. 4:38 to go in the opening quarter. Mentioned Seattle gets to go back home. George Karl told us mid-February they had 2 long road trips. Off the glass and no good, and McIlvain with a rebound. And this is the second of those road trips that ends tonight. He likes the schedule after this.
Yeah, he says if they're close when they come out of these road trips, watch out. They have a great shot at winning the West.
Chasing Utah right now. Kemp Beauty.
He's key for this team. George Karl told us that this morning. We want to get Shawn Kemp off early, and right now that's what they're doing. But he's doing it himself. He's going to the basket.
Gary Payton went for the steal, and the glove picks up the foul. Here's Kemp's last move.
Yeah, take a look at Shawn Kemp here. This is one of those up and under moves. He's moving. The one advantage he has over everybody who's going to guard him is he's quicker, he's more athletic. He can get to the basket. He just has to do it.
2 fouls on Gary Payton, so that's a standoff in terms of Payton and Jordan.
And Phil Jackson has taken Michael out. I think he's done a good job so far of managing the 2-foul situation with Michael Jordan.
Randy Brown has taken his place. Here's Rodman. Finds Longley. McIlvain a little late getting there. Longley puts it in.
The one thing when you have a Tony Kukoc out and now Michael Jordan out because of fouls, the Bulls still have that nice triangle offense. Guys are still going to move and guys are still going to get shots.
Payton backs in on Randy Brown. Kicks it out to Larry Stewart, and then Shawn Kemp with a jumper. And like you said, they'll let him have that. McIlvain. Wow. Whoa, smooth move from the Marquette kid.
That was a nice one. Every time he scores, every time this guy scores, it's gravy because they don't count on his points. He was paid to block shots, rebound, and intimidate. So any type of scoring is gravy for this team.
6 second chance points now for Seattle, only 2 for Chicago. Longley out on the perimeter. They work it around in the hands of Scottie Pippen. Larry Stewart picks him up defensively. Longley and McIlvain bang in the low post. Backdoor cut by Randy Brown. Takes the jumper and cans it.
Yeah, he's capable. He's such a good athlete himself. He's more of a defensive player, but he's capable also of giving them some points. All they need is 4 and 5 points from each guy to make up from Tony Kukoc's absence.
Randy Brown gets called for this one after he got in a wrestling match with Gary Payton. Brown, who got some playing time in that win against Atlanta and picked up 11 points in the Bulls' most recent victory. Time has been called. 2:48 to go, first quarter, a 4-point game.
This is the new Plymouth.
Now since February 27th, and how have they tried to make up the absence?
Well, you look at this and you see all the guys, but I think these are the 2 key guys right here that have to make it up. And Scottie Pippen has to come on and score a little bit more. He's a guy who would not mind just getting the small triple doubles. Now he has to get large ones. He has to score more points for this team in Kukoc's absence, and he really has to shoot the ball better from the outside. That's the key. You know, guys are going to make up the points. Their point production has not gone down, but what has happened now is it's tougher, it's easier to guard them because Tony Kukoc stretches out the defense. He makes shots from so far out. He extends the defense, and without him there, you need another guy making those threes. Obviously, when you talk 3, you talk Steve Kerr.
Early rebounding edge goes to Seattle by 4. 2:45 to go in the opening quarter. Randy Brown. Pick and roll. Sam Perkins has come on the floor now for George Karl. Carl's calling for an illegal defense. Rodman comes down to help out on Payton. Gets there a little late. Kemp over the back. Foul on Sean Kemp. That's his second.
That's his second. Payton has 2. Michael Jordan has 2. And if you notice, Phil Jackson has sneaked Michael Jordan back in the game on us. And good move again, putting him in spots.
Terry Cummings getting ready to come on the floor for Seattle. Longley guarded by Perkins. Shoots it over him and puts it in. 4 of 5 for Luke Longley. That's a good sign for Chicago.
Yeah, that's a great sign. He always gets off to an early start. They make a point of going to him early, but Phil Jackson and others said now we have to go to him all game.
What was a 7-point difference has now been reduced to 2. Hersey Hawkins off the dribble and picks up the foul. Now here comes Terry Cummings, another Chicago native, played collegiately at DePaul. Tough to get tickets when you come back home, huh?
Yeah, it really is. I was asking Terry how many tickets you got today, and he said, you know, I got a ton. Jared Cross has a rule, though, Bern. I give tickets to any Chicago guy. He was burned a long time ago. He didn't give them, I think it was to Mark Aguirre. Mark Aguirre went for like 40 against the Bulls, and since then, if you're from Chicago, you get tickets.
Did you take advantage of that?
I took advantage of it in a big way.
Sam Perkins, rebound Michael Jordan. And a chance to tie or take the lead now for the Bulls. They have trailed since the opening 2 free throws of the game from Gary Payton. Jordan. Nope. And Rodman may have shoved off. It's on Luke Longley, beg your pardon.
Yeah, that right now this game is really being called closely. I think the ref anticipates, you know, sometimes we forget that they're human. They know this is a big game also. So they're excited and they're quick with the whistle right now. It's a good thing to do early is to set a tempo for the game.
Pacers and Hawks coming up tomorrow night on TBS. Next Tuesday, Doc and I will be in Houston for the Minnesota Timberwolves and Houston Rockets, and then Detroit and the Knicks on TBS next Wednesday. Well, the Knicks celebrated their victory over Chicago in fine fashion, didn't they?
A little early.
Yes.
A little early to be celebrating their regular season win. Yes, it was a bigger game than one of 82, but it still was one of 82, and you've done nothing yet. So.
They still had to play Dallas, and they had to play New Jersey.
Yeah,
they seem to have forgotten.
They really did.
2018, 1:17 to go in the opening quarter of this one. Pippen with Perkins doing the defensive work. Hawkins is on Jordan now. Michael off the dribble. Cummins comes to double, and it's not there for Jordan in the early going, but the follow shot is good.
And Luke Longley got away with another push.
Longley goes into double digits, and we are tied at 20. On the break. The tip, no basket interference.
Good call by Billy Oates. Good call. I think it was going in anyway, too.
Randy Brown with the steal, but then the mistake at the other end.
That's one of the things that Randy Brown brings to this team is he's a great defender, and if you're stealing the ball from Gary Payton, that's proof.
McMillan's on the floor now. Speaking of steals, he and Payton, of course. Payton leads the league in steals again this year. McMillan led it back in 1993 and 94. Cummings from way outside. Nope. Rodman. 4 rebounds for Dennis Rodman now. Here's Michael Jordan, and McMillan will be the third man to guard him in the first quarter.
There are 3 different people on him, and not only that, they're always double teaming him.
Payton comes with a trap. Here's Randy Brown, and the steal from Gary Payton. Jordan back. It's a 3-on-1. Hersey Hawkins for 2. And we have reached the end of the first quarter. Luke Longley inspires Chicago. 5 out of 6 from the field, 10 points. But it's the Chicago Bulls who trail by 2 at the end of one, 22-20. The Windy City, you also take a view of one of the prettiest skylines in the world, Chicago, Illinois. And about 2 miles from downtown, Seattle leads Chicago, and we check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Bert, you and Doc were talking about Chicago natives getting tickets when they play here in Chicago. Same thing goes for those from nearby Chicago, like Elkhart, Indiana, like Sean Kemp. he has nearly 100 people here tonight. I asked him how he got that many tickets. He said they work on it all summer long. In fact, after the game Sunday in Detroit, he drove with his mom back home and then came with her to the game. Vern?
Thank you, Craig.
Well, that's a lot of tickets. You got Hersey Hawkins from Chicago, Terry Cummings, and Sean Kemp. There's at least 300 fans here for Seattle.
And these are not complimentary tickets, are they?
Most of them are.
Are they really?
Yeah, I would say most of them are. The Bulls can afford it.
You're right there. Steve Kerr has come on the floor now as Sean Kemp gets a rest. Kerr joins Jordan, Longley, Pippen, and Jason Caffey is also on the floor for Chicago. Underneath to Longley, Terry Cummings picks him up. David Wingate is in for Seattle. Longley with a miss, and here comes Gary Payton. Kerr back, so is Jordan. Wingate on the left wing. Nate McMillan gets it now. There's Wingate. Pump fake and a travel.
David Wingate been injured for about a month for this team. They have really used him in Detlef Schrempf's absence, not only offensively, but more defensively. He's a guy that you're going to see, and he's a new guy, guarding Michael Jordan. This is the fourth guy already in this game to guard Michael. They're running out of guys.
Evo's next. Rejected by Terry Cummings. Well, early on, Michael Jordan picked up a couple of fouls. Gary Payton also picked up 2. And Sean Kemp has 2, so foul troubles early.
Foul-filled game, and that's because these two teams know what this game means. It's funny how games like this work out. They say that they haven't been looking forward to this game, especially the Bulls, but they have. Though the Sonics need this game more for that quote-unquote statement, the Bulls still want to win this game. They want to win every game.
Chicago off a 3-2 week. They opened last week with a loss at New York. That one not totally unexpected, but their loss at New Jersey caused a few eyebrows to be raised, particularly here in Chicago.
Yeah, whenever the Bulls lose, it raises eyebrows. People are starting to figure out why, or trying to find out why the Bulls are losing. They're human, that's why.
Well, at home, they are 31-1. Here's Terry Cummings for 2. Steve Kerr. The only loss at home for the Chicago team came back in December to the Miami Heat. They have won the last 24 here at the United Center. Matter of fact, going after win number 99 in the history of this building tonight. Jordan, 1 of 6. He scored only 10 points in the game against Atlanta here Saturday night, but he played only 29 minutes. There's Wingate for 3. No. Longley had position, but Perkins takes it away from him. And Pippen went over the back of Cummings and picked it clean for Chicago. Steve Kerr back to Pippen. Works hard, gets it, and won't go. The tip from Jordan, he's now 1 of 7. He'll take his 8th shot, and he's 1 of 8.
Wow. He's not going to stop shooting. That's the one guarantee. That's what makes him so good.
2-point game. Cummings. Longley with the block, and Jason Caffey might have helped. They'll give credit to Longley. That's his 3rd block of the first half.
He's really playing big for them right now.
Well, he's 7-2.
That's the point.
Sorry.
And that's Michael.
Jordan with 5, and we're tied at 24. 9:24 to go, first half of play. Back to Wingate. Off the front iron. Here's Pippen. Seattle has 4 men back. Gary Payton picks up Pippen. Now Jordan for 3 points. No. McMillan for the Sonics into the hands of Gary Payton. 9 to go, first half. Cummings with Jordan on him. McMillan. Offensive board for Terry Cummings.
And I would say right now both of these teams are a little out of sync offensively.
Perkins drives, has it stripped and out of bounds. Let's go back and take a look at that 3rd block of Luke Longley.
Just great help defense, and that's what the Bulls do extremely well. And that's 2 guys, Jason Caffey helping out or being beat and getting back, and Luke Longley getting involved. Great help defense by Luke.
Bill Wennington's going to make his first appearance of the night, and Longley, nice hand as he heads to the bench. Those are cries of Luke, not booze.
Not booze.
No. Rodman getting an extended rest here in the second quarter.
It's good having a name like that, because when they say that, so if you're playing awful and they start booing, you can, in your mind, say they're saying Luke.
Yeah. It's a sign of respect. David Wingate. Wennington picks up Perkins, and Cummings calls for it. Jason Caffey guards him. Terry Cummings. Out of bounds. Chicago ball. Nice play defensively by Caffey to recover.
And this is really nice. He's not known for his defense, more for his offense, but he's been playing real nice today defensively.
Greg Graham is in the lineup, and he's giving Steve Kerr what for in the backcourt. Now Caffey. Yeah, that little sloppy, and it's another turnover for Chicago.
This game is sloppy right now. If you look at the unit Seattle has out on the floor, and you look at where they're going to get this scoring from, you would assume it'd be from Sam Perkins down on the post.
There's an absence of intensity in this game so far, don't you feel?
I would say more from Chicago than from Seattle. I think Seattle came out to play hard. Chicago right now, if you're looking for intensity, you don't see it in their faces right now. And like we just said, the Sonics right now went straight down to Sam Perkins. If you look at the guys who they have on the floor, he's really the only guy with a great post-up game. Terry Cummings can do it at times, but I think now is the time you go to Sam Perkins.
Sam was one of 19 former players who were in Winston-Salem for Dean Smith's record-setting victory over the weekend.
And George Karl was telling us that was one of the more sports special moments of his life.
George Karl was also there. That was some shot of those 19 men sitting in the stands to honor their coach.
Seeing Bobby Jones. Haven't seen that face in a long time.
Well, time has been called. And what's going on out west? Among other things, the Portland Trail Blazers are going on out west. We'll talk about that when we come back. Maybe. That puts you on the edge of your seats, doesn't it? The tussle with the Lakers out west. And Portland, my goodness, they've now won 9 in a row. And Kenny Anderson with an 18-point average at 39 minutes a game. P.J. Carlesimo. Wasn't that long ago there were rumors floating around about his job being in trouble.
Yeah, and that should be the guy who gets the assist for these wins. Since that rumor, they've been on fire. PJ likes that kind of stuff. He likes the heat of the moment, obviously, Vern.
PJ thinks he's still at Seton Hall at this time of the year. And you lose one, you go home.
You go home, and that's it.
In this quarter, not exactly an artistic delight. Both teams 1 of 7 from the field. Here's Steve Kerr, Wingate, giving him a little bit of a tussle. Jason Caffey to Wennington with that patented jumper. It's off the mark, and Michael Jordan tracks it down.
The thing Seattle is doing differently than what they did in the playoffs and the first game is Michael Jordan is drawing a ton of double teams so far.
Wennington. Cummings with a foul. So Bill Wennington will shoot 2 free throws. Greg Graham is now guarding Jordan. He's the 5th man.
5th guy, and they didn't tell us about him.
No.
So that's another guy. So when Elo comes in, he'll make the 6th guy. They're going to throw everyone at Jordan, and plus, they're going to double team him. They don't want him having one-on-one opportunities tonight.
Bill Wennington cans the first of 2. Michael Jordan 1 of 8 from the field here in the first half.
And he's had a couple of easy shots, but besides that, they've played really nice defense on Michael so far in this game.
Let me update that. He's 2 of 10. And we're tied at 26 with 7:24 to go in the first half. Graham, Jordan has him. Cummings calls for it. Judd Bushler's on and has Terry Cummings defensively. Graham for 3 with Caffey in his face, but he cans it.
And they're going to make him shoot it also. He's more of a defender than a shooter, and Michael knew that. You can see him giving them that shot. He made him pay.
Back to a 3-point edge. Chicago has not led in the game. It's been tied several times in the last couple of minutes. Bushler, left side to Caffey. Now Graham with Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan using height advantage over Graham. You know, George Karl was telling us he thinks about using a big guy on him or a smaller guy. That time he used a smaller guy, Michael shoots over him. He's going to go back to the big guy next play.
Graham. Nate McMillan into the hands of Sam Perkins and a fresh 24 for Seattle. 6:20 to go in the first half of play. And a 1-point Seattle lead. Perkins fadeaway. Got it.
You've noticed tonight when Seattle gets the ball to the post, whoever the post passer is, he's cutting through instead of spotting up. And what they're doing is they're trying to force the Bulls to make a decision. Either you double team or you're going to let our guy play one-on-one. So far, they've not double teamed, something Chicago does not like doing. And they've gone one-on-one, and the big guys have scored on the post.
Wingate came over to defend Jordan, and there was a travel call. Let's take a look.
Take a look at this. Graham throws it in and cuts through. And from that point on, it's one-on-one. There's no help. You can see Steve Kerr in the picture, but it's too late. Seattle likes it like that.
Gary Payton and Hersey Hawkins back on the floor now for Seattle. So is Sean Kemp. And Wingate and Cummings complete the 5 on the floor for the Sonics. Here's Cummings. Short off the glass. Jordan with a rebound. Bushler, Jordan, Wennington at the other end. Caffey gets the pass and the dunk.
Great pass. Great catch and great presence of mind by Caffey knowing that Kemp was running. That's a nice move all the way around.
Back to a 1-point margin with 5:20 to go. Payton for 3.
First 9 seconds of the offense. Seattle comes right back at you. They want to run at you more when you score than when you miss.
Seattle 4 of 9 on 3-point shots in the early going. Wennington puts it on the floor and puts it in the basket.
Yeah, but 4 of 9 for Seattle is a good sign. George Karl also told us before this game they have 2 keys: getting Sean Kemp off early and making shots from the outside.
Kemp, nice play. And Cummings will try and make it a 3-point effort. Beautiful pass from Sean Kemp.
And this time the Bulls decided to double team, and you see what happens when you double team. That's why Phil Jackson does not like it. The Bulls aren't used to double teaming. They would rather not.
Watch the eyes of Michael Jordan just a moment ago.
Yeah, when you can look away and throw the ball 60 feet on the dime, that means you can play baseball.
You going to start those rumors?
No.
He's going to give up golf and go for baseball, huh?
I think he wants to golf next.
Yeah, I did. He's like you. Speaking of a passion for the sport.
Yes.
Back to a 5-point margin, 37-32. Wennington. Fouled by Wingate. That's his second. David Wingate hobbled by injuries this year, but George Karl telling us this morning that he's really played a significant role for Seattle in Shrimp's absence.
He's given them more of a defensive presence, and I know people are thinking more of a defensive presence in Seattle. Yeah, it allows him to pick up. He can pick up anybody full court in this league, even at his height, and that gives him another advantage.
Hey, what? George went to the haberdasher store today. Got the nice look here in Chicago.
He is dressed nice. He knew it was a big game, too.
Yeah. I mean, that's his Sunday go-to-dinner shirt. Payton, travel on Kerr. Great defensive work from a defensive expert, Gary Payton.
And it was only one guy. I think Steve Kerr thought he was double-teamed because everywhere he moved, there was somebody, but the somebody was still Gary Payton every time. 9
Chicago turnovers. This is the team that averages turning it over only 13 times a game. Kemp, strong move, too strong. Rodman back in the lineup.
Well, it's really interesting. Seattle leads the league in forced turnovers. Chicago leads the league in not turning the ball over. Right now, Seattle's winning that war.
Cummings, after Jordan's turnover, they get it in the hands of Hersey Hawkins, and he is fouled hard. And we'll go to the free throw line. Go back and look at the glove and see if it. Watch it work on
this.
Kerr.
He goes one way, he goes the other way. Everywhere he turns, Gary Payton is there. You know he's thinking, this is a heck of a double team right now. It's only one guy.
What do you think Kerr is thinking about right now?
Get me out.
My goodness. Well, got his wish.
Yeah, he did.
Oh. Steve is going to be dreaming about that when the head hits the pillow tonight.
He's thinking that three-point competition was much easier. Much easier.
Hawkins. .86% free throw shooter. And it's a 7-point lead. That equals the largest of the first half. Pippen.
And if you're wondering if it's quiet in here, the answer is yes.
John Bushler in and out. Pippen, left-handed putback. Here comes Gary Payton. The lead is 5 with 3:40 to go in the half. Rodman chases down his 6th rebound. Gets it back to Scottie Pippen. Rodman, who was ejected in the 3rd quarter of Saturday's last game, 3rd ejection of the season.
More to be coming.
Won't be the last.
No. You don't mind that, though. You want him to play with passion.
Bushler at the shot clock. The putback, no. Now Bushler with the follow. Nice alert play by Judd Bushler.
Yeah, it really was. Everybody in Seattle was walking or standing around because they assumed that Luke Longley was going to make one of those tips. That's why George Karl is calling that timeout, because he saw that also.
Time called with 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the first half. Seattle by 3. Spring game 1, the Chicago Bulls defeated the Sonics 107-90. Tony Kukoc had a big night. In game 2, Rodman had 20 rebounds, 11 offensive. The Bulls won it by 4 to go up 2-0. In game 3, Michael Jordan's 36 points propelled Chicago to a 108-86 victory. But then Seattle fought back. Sean Kemp had 25 points in a 107-86 victory in game 4. In game 5, Gary Payton was the star as the Sonics pulled it out by 11. But then Chicago came back in game 6. Rodman with 19 rebounds. Had some offensive fouls on Sean Kemp. Michael Jordan was the series MVP for the 4th time. And the Chicago Bulls stamped themselves again as one of the great teams ever in this league.
And if you look at the guys here, the 2 guys out, Kukoc and Shrimp. Seattle, they have Sam Perkins, they have Hershey Hawkins, they have guys who can take points and make it up. You look at the Bulls, there really isn't anyone after Kukoc. Who else on that team could give you 30 points if you needed it? You would say maybe a Ron Harper, who was capable of doing that in his past. We don't know if he can do it now, but they sure would like to see if he could.
Well, and I think they're a little concerned about when they're going to get Kukoc back.
They don't know, and that scares them. And if he's not back, that's a big loss for the Bulls.
Bushler comes with a double team, and Rodman and Cummins go down, and Cummins saved it. Good ball movement to Payton for 3, no. And Rodman with another rebound. He's got 7. Double team, the trap on Scottie Pippen. They get it to Rodman. He finds Longley. And Longley doesn't want to take it to the basket.
And now Sean Kemp is guarding Michael Jordan. The one thing, and you saw it here, trap. It doesn't matter who guards Michael, because there's a trap coming anyway.
That's the 6th man who's been guarding him. Illegal defense is called. Watch Rodman and Cummings in the low post.
Well, everyone talks about Dennis rebounding. We should talk more about his great defense, his great effort, and his great outlet passes, because that's what he does. He does all of them.
Scottie Pippen. McIlvain on him. Gary Payton gets possession on Bushler and Longley and gets the rebound. A 3-point Seattle lead, 2 minutes plus to go. Kemp guarded by Longley. Bushler comes with a double. That leaves Wingate open for 3.
They are forcing the Bulls to double team, and every time the Bulls have done that, they've been burned. They've been burned by 2 threes and a 3-point play by Terry Cummings so far.
Jordan finds Longley, who can't find the basket. And here comes Gary Payton. Rodman and Longley are back. Spot up for 3, no. McIlvain with a rebound into the hands of Gary Payton. Now Kemp wants it. Out to Wingate. Quick hands of Scottie Pippen, knock it out of bounds.
Again, another double team by the Bulls. This is very unusual for the Bulls team to double team. I think by cutting that guy through when you give it to the post, what Seattle is doing is forcing their hand.
Coming up, the Nike halftime report going back to Atlanta. The through. Foul as Kemp makes the basket and will have a chance for a three-point play.
I tell you what, Vern, this game is close. But if you look at the emotions of these two teams, Seattle has it and the Bulls don't right now, and it reflects in the score.
Phil Jackson's team down by 8. They are 31-1 at home. The one loss back in December on the 7th to the Miami Heat. Rodman out of bounds, knocked there by McIlvain. Rodman thinks there perhaps should have been a foul called.
And I think he also thought that they were giving the ball to Seattle.
Dennis, who in preparation for getting on with the rest of his life, appeared in a professional wrestling encounter. Some were concerned that he might lose his dignity getting involved in that sport.
Can you?
I don't think so. I don't think. That's a perfect match.
Yeah, it is. I think Dennis is a great. He'll be great in that profession also.
Rodman and Hulk Hogan.
Good tag team.
Yeah. And Steve McMichael was a part of all that, proving that football players can find life after the NFL.
You can always find a job somewhere.
You ever remember Wahoo McDaniel? No, you're too young.
No, he must be from Texas.
Oklahoma. He played for the old New York Jets. He was the first football player that I can remember who went into the professional wrestling ranks.
Professional wrestling.
Yeah, well, that's an oxymoron. Yeah, here we go. 1:06 to go in the half. Oh, goodness.
Shawn Kemp is attacking the basket now, and it's giving the Bulls fits. Early on, you saw him taking those jump shots, settling. Well, he's not settling anymore. He's going straight to the bucket. He's quicker. He has that advantage, and he's starting to take advantage of it and use it.
Lead is 8 with 1 minute to go in the first half. 22nd timeout. Rodman couldn't find anybody to deliver the ball to whom to deliver the ball.
Boy, I tell you, you look at this Bulls team, you know they're the best team in the NBA, but right now they're playing without passion.
Coming up tomorrow night on TBS, Indiana Pacers go into Atlanta to take on the Hawks. That's followed by Inside the NBA. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown will be at the Omni, only on TBS. Gary Payton put Seattle up 2-0 to open this game, and they have led throughout. They have been tied several times. Michael Jordan got off to a very slow start. Matter of fact, he hasn't really increased the pace of that start. He's 3 of 11 from the field here in the first half. Here's Kerr.
Well, if you're Seattle, you're happy because the best player on the court right now for the Bulls has been Luke Longley.
Kerr for 3.
They'll take some of that.
That'll help. 5-point margin, 46-6 to go in the first half.
But as we've learned in this building, Vern, there's no lead too big for the Bulls to overcome.
Kemp. Kerr went in the passing lane, almost got it. Here's Wingate with a jumper, no. Rebound, Jordan. And the final shot of the first half. Payton on Kerr. Rodman. The long lead. Open and cans it.
What a smart play. Everyone in the gym knew he was not going to shoot the ball, but he forced them to double team. He gave an open shot to Luke Longley. That's a great play by Dennis Rodman.
And a nice way for the Bulls to end the first half.
What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc?
Well, Vern, yes, I know this is the NBA, but Dean Smith passing Adolph Rupp as college winningest coach was special. And the ex-players showing up for that event like George Karl, Mitch Kupchak, and Sam Perkins was a classy touch, just like the guy who taught them. It doesn't matter the level that this was done, high school, college, or pro. This was good for the game. This was special. And so are you, Dean Smith.
Well, there are a few moments in sports that really we all remember, and that'll be one of them.
Yeah, it really was. And though it was college, you talk about a player's coach, and you usually talk about that in the NBA. You look at those guys who showed up for those games, those were all players who come to watch Dean Smith. He was a player's coach.
Well, let's check in right now with Craig Sager.
Well, thank you very much, Vern. Doc said earlier he thought that the Bulls are playing without intensity or passion. I talked to Phil Jackson. He said, well, actually, they came out playing rather stupid and tight. He took the blame, said maybe he practiced them too hard yesterday. I talked to George Karl moments ago. He said he was happy with the first half. He's going to continue to double Michael. But he warned the players, look out, because Michael's going to come out firing. Vern?
Well, in the first half, the Sonics hitting 43% in the first quarter, 35% in the second. Chicago also tailed off in quarter number 2. Michael Jordan, though, with more turnovers than he has field goals. And in all, Chicago with 10 turnovers.
And that's the stat you should look at, is the 10 turnovers by the Bulls. The Bulls do not turn the ball over. They're second in the league. Detroit's first. And you should watch that, because that's the key stat. The other stat you should watch is the points. Seattle, if they score over 100 points, they give themselves a much better chance of winning. They don't do very well. I think they're 17-14 when they score below the 100-point mark. Scoring 100 points from the Chicago Bulls is not very easy.
You see the quartet of players who have spent most of the time defending Michael Jordan. And we're underway with quarter number 3. Larry Stewart back on the floor, picks up Pippen. Rodman out on the perimeter, brings Kemp out with him. McElvain picks up Longley, who takes the first shot of the second half, and Jordan is there. Excellent position, and the putback is good.
One thing he has done well all game is rebound.
That's
He's
his
picking up the slack. That's his 10th rebound already.
So it's a one-point game once again. And a foul. Offensive foul called on Larry Stewart. Or McElvain, beg your pardon. And a chance now for Chicago to get its first lead of the ball game. We were tied 4 times in the first half. The Bulls have not led. Stewart picks up Pippen. Ron Harper back on the floor, gets it to Dennis Rodman. Michael Jordan going to post up Gary Payton, who fronts him. Now the switch. Payton out on Pippen. Harper drives it, lays it up, short. Pippen. Offensive board, loose ball picked up by Gary Payton. Screen from McElvain, back to Kemp. Quickly over to a 3-point effort from Hawkins, which is good.
Yeah, and the Bulls had a mix-up on defense there, and you can see Michael's frustration. You cannot leave Hersey Hawkins open. He'll make the shot. That's what he does real well.
Second 3-pointer in the game for Hersey Hawkins. And it's back to a 4-point margin. McElvain with the tip, but it goes right back to Longley. Harper calls for it, gets it, finds Jordan underneath. Adjustment, shot short, out of bounds. Seattle ball.
Jordan was expecting to get fouled on that play. The refs didn't bail him out, and neither did Sean Kemp.
Seattle up by 4. Harper goes for the steal. And Hersey Hawkins. His average per game since Shrimp went out has gone up 6 points, from 12 to 18. Nice move in the lane.
And we talk about picking up the slack. He's done that. And you know, if he didn't do it, they probably would have put the onus on Sam Perkins. They have 2 guys that could have done it.
Shrimp expected back in late March. Now here's Rodman. Kicks it back outside to Pippen. Underneath, Rodman, rare offensive move, draws the foul, goes to the line.
That's probably why he got the call. No one expected it, especially the refs, so they had to make a call.
And that's the 3rd foul on Sean Kemp, sending Rodman to the free throw line, where he does not excel.
No, he doesn't. He's not a bad shooter, though. He just doesn't practice it enough in practice. He has great rotation when he wants to make it. He just doesn't care enough to make it.
Rebounding rank in the 90s.
And there can be an argument when you talk about 50 greatest players. If you look at just that rebounding alone, that would put a lot of guys into that category. Sometimes his act off the court, you know, deflects what he does on the court. It's too bad.
6th point after Rodman misses both of them. Here's Kemp. Strong move. Reverse. Too strong. Ron Harper wants to run. And Jordan again goes into the low post. Now Hawkins fronts him, and they find him with the alley-oop.
And this is something the Bulls talked about at halftime. That's been the adjustment. The Sonics have been fronting Michael Jordan all game. They haven't been able to give him the ball. They flash a guy, Luke Longley up to the post, up to the free throw line to throw it over. They've tried it twice, and they're successful once so far.
9:10 to go third quarter.
That's a nice adjustment.
Hawkins with a little runner. Tip no good. Rebound Rodman. And there's Gary Payton to steal it. Leads the league in steals, but misses the shot. He's got 4 steals in the game.
That was great. Luke Longley made him hang in the air, and he stuck him there. Oh, wow.
I'm not sure what McIlvaine was doing, but he looked like a matador.
Again, you don't want McIlvaine away from the bucket. You want him under the bucket.
McIlvaine needed a cape to complete that play. And Pippen puts it in. Three-pointer, no. There was some shoving underneath that went unnoticed. Here's Ron Harper. Back to Longley. Foul by McIlvaine.
And the emotions are starting to come. We talked in the first half that neither team showed a lot of emotion. Seattle showed more, but now you can see it coming. Look at this lob right here to Michael Jordan. That play was set up by Luke Longley cutting to the free throw line, throwing it over top. The Bulls have made that adjustment at halftime.
Last foul on Sean Kemp, his 4th. George Karl getting ready to make the move.
Yeah, you got to get him out here. That's a good move by George Karl.
So Perkins comes in.
You know, it's funny. There's some guys you leave in. There's some guys you take off. Sean Kemp with 4 fouls is a guy you take out. He is prone to fouls. He's prone to fouling out of games, and that's a good move getting him out of the game. You need him down the stretch.
8:24 to go, third quarter of play. And a 2-point Seattle lead. Hawkins got it.
This game reminds me of a prize fight. In the first 2 quarters, they were filling each other out. The level of this game has picked up since halftime.
Back to Pippen. Stewart guards him. Pippen for 3. McIlvaine, good position, gets the rebound in the hands of Gary Payton. Payton will run with Michael Jordan, kick it right. Larry Stewart. Back it comes to Hersey Hawkins. Payton, tough shot. Rodman, big rebound.
Yeah, you can see Dennis getting into this game. And sometimes the Bulls ride his emotion. You know, you talk about the bad part of his emotions. We should talk about the good part of it also.
There's the alley-oop, same play to Jordan. This time it's unsuccessful. Payton with a rebound. Back to Perkins, puts it up for 3. Long rebound. Longley fights for it. Out of bounds. Chicago ball. Phil Jackson wants a timeout. What Phil wants, Phil gets.
He usually does.
The lead is 4. 7:25 to go, third quarter.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Fila, change the game, and by Chevrolet Trucks.
That our main concern is getting on a roll and getting healthy for the playoffs, and we'll see if we can do that.
Now let's go back and take a look at a healthy Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, we talk about being a great athlete. That's athleticism. But even more important, look at this outlet pass. That's how you draw it up in the school books.
Rodman with 11 rebounds. No points in the game. It's a 4-point margin, 53-49. Jordan, Harper, Pippen, Longley, and Rodman on the floor for Chicago. There's Longley. Nice pass from Pippen, but Jordan underneath is fouled hard, and he'll go to the free throw line.
That's great recovery by Jim McIlvaine. Longley thought he had a sure two. Now, just look at this. Longley's thinking he's there. That's great recovery. That's what he does. He blocks shots.
399 of them at Marquette. And better than 2 per game here.
And that's an astounding figure when you think the minutes he plays. He only plays half the game.
Right. George Karl told us a month ago, I prefer to think of Jim McIlvaine as a rookie who's playing 20 minutes a game.
I prefer to think of him as a rookie making a lot of money.
Well, he did raise the bar a little bit.
He did, and every other player is really happy. Like I said earlier, he's the John Concack of the late 90s.
Suppose we can mean that Brian Gumbel's new contract's going to filter down to us?
Yeah, I hope so. Trickle down economics.
Yeah, I've heard that theory once. Here's Gary Payton will take it out of bounds. 53-51. Underneath the Perkins, Rodman guards him. Perkins for 2.
And that's the type of person that Dennis Rodman had problems with, is somebody who is taller than him. There's nothing he can do about it, because once that guy gets the ball above Dennis' head, it's over.
Scottie Pippen. McIlvaine comes out to trap. Here's Jordan posting up again. Kicks it back outside to Harper. Jumper for 3, no. Tip, loose ball, battle for it, out of bounds, and it's Chicago ball.
In this game, you can see Dennis Rodman is starting to put his will on this game, exactly what he did in the finals.
Rodman with that huge 6th game in the finals. Gets it inbounds in the hands of Ron Harper. Pippen calls for it and gets it for 3. Yes. Back to a 1-point game.
They need more of that from Scottie Pippen.
Hawkins with the counter.
Wide open. Attacking. That's what Seattle does. Again, you score, you better get back, because they're going to try to score on you right away.
They're not working on the shot clock.
Especially on the road, because that takes the crowd right out of the game again.
Smart offensive maneuver by Seattle. They're back up by 4. Here's Jordan. Sam Perkins with a rebound. Jordan is 5 of 16 from the field tonight. And he's fresh from a 10-point game against Atlanta on Saturday night. They didn't need his points then. Payton, little runner. Rodman tries to save it, but he's on the line. He's into a photographer's lap, and everybody holds their breath.
Well, the photographer was saying he was sorry, that's a change. Oh, he gives up his body.
And Dennis with a wry smile, recognizing familiar territory. And the potential for danger that lurks therein to the wallet. 58-54, 5:20 to go, 3rd quarter. Pippen inside the 3-point arc. Rodman with the tip, no. And Larry Stewart comes out of it. Here comes Seattle. They want to force the issue again. Payton. Stewart traveled.
Boy, they are so aggressive. You must find Gary Payton the minute that the Sonics get the ball, because he's looking to score right when they get the ball. He's pushing that ball up, trying to find the open man.
Steve Kerr getting ready to come back in for Chicago. Stewart picks up Pippen. Under 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, a 4-point Seattle lead. They led by 3 at the half. Turnaround fadeaway jumper for Michael Jordan. He's 6 of 17.
Now, he hasn't had many of those shots. The ones he's had, he's made. Sonics have done a good job of taking him out of that part of his offense.
McIlvaine wasn't ready for the entry pass. There's a Seattle turnover. Pippen saves that ball that almost got loose, back in the hands of Michael Jordan. And Michael says, calm down. I have this thing under control. Jordan shoves off. Payton. Offensive foul is called. They got Longley, I believe. It was Michael Jordan who kind of initiated the action and got away with one. There's the shove. The first shove.
Yeah, and you can see Longley trying to hold. That was a great acting job also by Gary Payton. Good move. Good move, because he was beat.
3rd foul on Longley. 4:18 to go, 3rd quarter. Nate McMillan fouled by Scottie Pippen. 2nd foul on Pippen.
I don't think anyone's happy with that call. They're calling this game close.
Cummins is on the floor again. There's another turnover by Scottie Pippen. Cummins down. Steve Kerr gets down and mixes it up, and Perkins saves it for Seattle as he gets it to Nate McMillan. Hawkins in the low post. Offensive foul is called again.
And that'll be on Hersey Hawkins.
2nd foul on Hawkins.
Yeah, you can see the post up here, and Hawkins is just rooting them out of here. Steve Kerr's trying to help. That is called a moving pick all the time.
2-point game again. Kerr, that's for 2. So we are tied again.
Steve Kerr is giving the lift.
Kerr picks up Hawkins. Payton posting up Ron Harper. And Harper fronts him, denies the ball. Now they get it to Gary Payton. 8 on the shot clock. Back to Perkins. Rodman out. In and out. Rodman with another big rebound.
And another great outlet pass.
For the lead for the first time in the ball game. Longley. Cummins has him. Back to Rodman. Are you kidding me? He did hit 2 3-pointers against Atlanta Saturday night.
He said, why not? You know, as hard as he worked, you got to give him a bone every once in a while, Bernie.
Perkins with another turnover. Dennis Rodman.
Doing it in every way, playing defense. And you'll see him still get the rebound. He's taking this game over with his effort.
Call your cable operator today and ask about
3 minutes of play in the third quarter. We often hear Michael Jordan compared to Superman. And, of course, we all know the story of Clark Kent going into the phone booth and changing into his Superman costume. Well, moments ago, Michael Jordan told equipment manager John Ligmanowski that he didn't like his jersey. Apparently, it was a new one that was itching. So John went into the locker room, got out an older one, and Michael right here on the court changed into his old jersey. We'll see if the S is on it. Back to Vernon Dock.
Chances are good it is.
Yes, yes. I was surprised I didn't see a North Carolina jersey under that, but he wears the trunks.
Matter of fact, he is wearing North Carolina shorts under his shorts.
Done all his career.
Yep.
He's done it his whole career.
We give you all the news here.
Yes. Why and how we know that, we can't tell you.
Sam Perkins is North Carolina teammate back in the early 80s. Tonight's Chevy scoreboard. Make sure you see all the scores on CNNSI. Loose ball picked up by Sam Perkins. They've gone scoreless for the last 3 minutes. Gary Payton is 2 of 11 in this ball game. From the corner, Hersey Hawkins.
He's a lot like Terry Mills in Detroit. On the break, you must find him. He's not running to the basket. Hersey Hawkins is running behind the 3 to get some shots up.
10 points in the quarter, 17 in the game for Hersey Hawkins. Jordan clad in the new jersey with Gary Payton ready to stick to him. Michael runs into some trouble. Quick outlet pass. Payton finds Hawkins. Loose ball. Little miscommunication. At the other end, here's Jordan. And a foul is called on Sam Perkins.
Look at Steve Kerr right here. Getting back on transition D, and that's what the Bulls are going to have to do. But Gary Payton finds Hersey Hawkins. You must find him and Sam Perkins on the break.
Kerr for 3. No. Rebound. Nate McMillan. It's McMillan, Payton, Perkins, Hawkins for 3. That's off the mark. Rodman with another rebound. And a foul is going to be called on Terry Cummins. Watch out. Technical foul on Cummins, and Rodman keeps his cool.
Well, Rodman knew Terry Cummins was upset, so that's why he stood over top of him. That's a smart play by Dennis Rodman. He knew Terry Cummins was upset over that, and he perpetuated it by standing over him. You can see it right here. You see it. He does that on purpose. And you knew you would get a reaction. You knew you would get a reaction because it's Dennis Rodman.
Jordan shoots the free throw and gets it. Rodman getting a laugh out of one of the officials.
You know what he's saying, see? It's not always me.
Now Rodman shoots the free throws. For 3 from the free throw line tonight.
And the indifference in his face has to burn somebody like Mike or Scotty. I don't care what he does. that expression has to really turn him off.
0 for 4, but he gets another rebound. Offensive foul, Rodman. No, Perkins. Or Rodman. It's
no,
Rodman.
that's on Rodman. He did it. I don't think he saw Wingate, but he did it. They gave him an elbowing foul right there, and he did it.
Seattle by 1 with 1:42 to go, third quarter. McMillan guarded by Pippen. Hersey Hawkins, key factor in Seattle's effort in this quarter. Here's Perkins posting up against Rodman. The double comes, and they find Wingate. Now McMillan, 3 on the shot clock. Fade away, not the shot he wanted.
No, but he didn't have a shot.
No.
That was the defense of the Chicago Bulls. Scottie Pippen's great recovery.
Phil Jackson calling out the offensive set he wants. And another chance to take their first lead of the night. Here's Jordan guarded by Wingate. Kerr's open. Rotation from Perkins. Entry pass to Longley. Short. Rodman can't get the rebound. Perkins has it. Low scoring quarter. Here's Perkins. Hawkins with Pippen going for the ball. And that one's going to be out of bounds.
I tell you what, both defenses are doing a nice job here right now. There's no open shots. You can see guys scrambling for shots right now. And Phil Jackson is really upset at Luke Longley.
Not the first time.
No, it's not. I think he's really upset over that last play. He thought Longley had a shot right away. Instead, he tried to make a pass, didn't make it, took a fadeaway jump shot. And I can tell you, just like George Karl told us earlier, there's very few coaches who like the fadeaway jumper, and there's very few players who can do it.
Well, Longley watching his coach Phil Jackson. Seattle, meanwhile, trying to overcome 7 turnovers in this quarter. Well, one of the surprise teams, or not really a surprise team, one of the fine teams this year, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the effort they've had.
Yeah, they are, and they're really fun to watch. You see youth, you see enthusiasm, you see mistakes, but you see effort, and you see some great future when you look at these guys right here. And you look at Garrett, what he's done since he's been put in the starting lineup. This guy is a 30-year-old rookie. I mean, he's been around a long time, but he's playing great basketball.
Well, we get to see them a week from tonight against the Houston Rockets here on TNT. And they, barring something totally cataclysmic, will be in the playoffs this year. Jordan. Wingate's on the floor. Cummings comes to help out. Kerr guarded by Hawkins. Here's Jason Cappy. And Nate McMillan read that perfectly.
Nate McMillan read that, but Luke Longley should have cut to the basket, and that's what they were waiting for. He allowed Nate McMillan to get that steal.
George Karl says, let's go for the final play of the quarter. Final shot. McMillan fouled by Pippen.
They had a foul to give.
And they just did.
Nice job by Scottie. You can see the defensive pressure picking up from both teams. This is an entirely different half than the first half.
Gary Payton back on the floor, replacing Wingate. And a 20-second call, timeout called by George Karl and the Sonics. Look at the turnovers forced. 15 Seattle, 13 Chicago.
Well, you knew there'd be turnovers. You didn't think Chicago would turn over as much. Seattle, they're a team, they take gambles. George Karl believes you should take gambles. If you don't have a chance of winning. But both defenses, these are the 2 best defensive teams in the league, in my opinion. I know people are saying, what about the Cavs? But I think these are the 2 teams. The Cavs defense, part of that is from offense. They don't shoot the ball. These 2 teams will shoot it at any time, but they can stop you at any time. And right now, they're stopping each other.
Sam Perkins, 9.3 remaining in the quarter. Here's Gary Payton. Back to Cummings. Off the dribble, strong. Longley is there. Hawkins at the buzzer. That will not count. Longley with the fine defensive effort. His 4th stop, 4th block of the ball game. But Hersey Hawkins with 10 third-quarter points. And as we head to the 4th quarter, Seattle still leads, now by 1. For the Shrimp injury, averaging 12 points per game. 18 per since then.
Yeah, he has really stepped up his game. He's taking the ball to the basket. But what he's doing most is he's getting his open shots, and he's getting more shots. There's more shots to be gotten without deadlift shrimp. He is the guy who has stepped up, and he's doing it again tonight.
Now let's check in with Craig Sager.
Doc mentioned that Dennis Rodman sparked the Bulls with his intensity in the third quarter. He was visibly upset with the offensive call, also at being pulled by Phil Jackson late in the third quarter. But Phil went up to him and said, listen, Dennis, you're self-conscious. You think the refs are picking on you. I'm going to rest you. I'll put you back in. Don't worry.
All right, Greg. For the moment, he sits. Sean Kemp is back on the floor. And Terry Cummings opens the fourth with a two-pointer.
Yeah, he's had it taking the ball to the basket. I think he's had his shot blocked 3 times today by Luke Longley.
And as we begin the fourth, it's Kerr, Pippen, Jordan, Longley, and Jason Caffey on the floor for Chicago. Wingate, Payton, Nate McMillan, Cummings, and Sean Kemp for Seattle. Kemp sat for 8.5 minutes in the third quarter with his fourth foul. At the shot clock, Payton comes down with it. That's 10 rebounds for Gary Payton tonight.
Gary Payton's doing a great job on the floors, and he's also doing a great job on Michael Jordan right now, denying him the basketball.
Now Jordan guards Payton. 10 on the shot clock. Payton takes it in deep. Fights for the rebound. It'll be Payton and Longley.
And he got himself in a little bit of trouble right there. Over-penetrated, took the ball in amongst the trees, and he had nowhere to go. Almost made a miraculous shot.
Well, he gave it his effort, didn't he? And Seattle comes out with it. Payton from the corner for 3. No. Scottie Pippen.
Kemp trying to avoid that 5th foul right there.
Yeah, he reacted gingerly. 3-point Seattle lead. Chicago has not led in the game. Pippen. Kemp with the switch. Fade away from Pippen, short. Kemp with a rebound, quickly to Payton. And Pippen with a foul from behind.
Yeah, he did. And bad move by Scottie Pippen. You got 4 fouls on Sean Kemp. You don't need to fade away. You need to take it into him and make Sean Kemp foul you and give you the 5th.
That's 4 fouls on Scottie Pippen. And Phil Jackson makes no move for the moment.
No, it's the fourth quarter. You can keep him in. He might take him out, but you can keep him in now. Scottie Pippen knows how to play with 4 fouls.
Gary Payton. Kemp kicks it out to McMillan. McMillan. Cummings with the jumper. Air ball. Pippen has it. Here comes Chicago. Michael Jordan. Quickly over to Kerr for 3. And with 9:55 to go, third quarter, we're tied again.
And it's amazing how 3-point shooters always get open.
Cummings, the double comes from Kerr. Now he rotates back outside. Wingate off the glass short. Loose ball in the hands of McMillan. Touch pass into Cummings. Awkward, but good.
Nice move. Nice, strong move. Got the shot off before they could get help.
Now Kerr for Chicago. Seattle back up by 2. Payton on Kerr. Michael Jordan the baseline. Hits the underside of the basket. The putback is no good. And Cummings comes out of there. 3 efforts, no basket. Payton. No foul. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be Seattle ball. Now let's see Kerr with that 3-pointer a moment ago that tied it for the moment.
Yeah, it's amazing how 3-point shooters know where to go. Wingate gives a little help. Kerr floats, gets himself open. It was too late for Kemp on the help.
Seldom used Dickie Simpkins comes on the floor now, replacing Longley for Chicago.
Yeah, Phil Jackson's just trying to get a live body in the game right now.
Judd Bushler's also on the floor, so it's Bushler, Caffey, Kerr, Simpkins, and then this other guy. Gary Payton goes by the other guy, and there's a steal for Chicago. Here comes Steve Kerr. Bulls trail by 2. Simpkins in the low post gets the entry pass. Kemp guards him. Back to Jordan. Trap comes from Kemp. It's knocked out of bounds.
You can see some of the frustration on Michael Jordan's face right now. He thinks he's being held a little bit.
Michael, who played only 29 in that win Saturday night, gets the jumper to go. We're tied again for the 7th time.
And all I read since then is that he's tired. Michael Jordan rarely gets tired. I will say he gets tired more now than he ever has in his career. But Michael Jordan is fine, and he'll be fine for the playoffs.
And another chance for the lead. It would be the first of the night. Here's Jordan. This for the lead. No!
Never had it. Never had it in his hands when he went up to shoot it. He was trying to pray that ball in.
I think he heard the roar of the crowd before he took the shot.
Yeah, he did.
Cummings. Caffey gives him a body. Cummings gets a tough one.
That's a tough shot. Caffey played as well as you can play on Terry Cummings, and he still made the shot.
Terry Cummings with 6 fourth-quarter points. He's got 11 in the game. Seattle back by 2. 7:35 remaining. Kerr left open. You leave him open, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, he is stepping up right now. He is doing what is needed of him, and that is to get some points on the board.
Alley-oop, Kemp. Simpkins guards him, knocked out of bounds. It'll be Seattle's.
That is a great pass by Steve Kerr, and a tough shot. And look at Terry Cummings right here. You can't play better defense. He takes the bunt, he pushes him in his face, still makes the shot. That is a nice shot by Terry Cummings.
Chicago timeout. Now it's time to take a look at tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Rebounding edge by 2 to Chicago. And the block, Chicago with 5 blocks, Sonics with 2. And the intensity in this one, Doc Rivers, has really picked up.
It has changed. It's amazing. In the first half, it was almost both teams were trying to wait to see who was going to be the guy to step up. And both teams did it at the same time. This is going to be an entertaining 7 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game. This is going to be really nice.
We are tied at 66. Seattle's Payton inbounds to Sean Kemp. Jordan has Payton. Simpkins guards Kemp. Bushler comes to help out. They kick it out to Hawkins, then to Payton for 3.
Boy,
beautiful ball movement.
Beautiful pass by Kemp. I didn't think he had anywhere to go with the ball. You know, coaches tell you never leave your feet, but when you're that athletic, you can get away with it.
Back to a 3-point edge. Seattle, their largest lead in the game is 8. We've been tied 8 times. We've not seen a Chicago lead. That pass right in the hands of Gary Payton. Another steal for Payton. That's 4 steals tonight.
And what Seattle has done, they have not allowed the Bulls to get a lead. Every time the Bulls make a run, they make a big shot.
That one is tipped. Chicago, it'll be Seattle's ball.
And they're doing this without virtually any help from Sean Kemp in the second half.
Tell you what, George looked like he's graduated. 5 on the shot clock. Ah, beauty move.
Oh.
Terrific move by Sean Kemp.
He hurt us over here.
Yes. And it's a 5-point edge. Hawkins guards Pippen. Simpkins. Cummings picks him up. Now Hersey Hawkins on Jordan. And a foul away from the ball. I think they got David Wingate.
Sean Kemp on the post, and this is where they want him the ball. They want to get him the ball down on the post and for him to make a quick move before double team comes. You can see Michael Jordan coming to the picture a little too late.
Six minutes, 2 seconds. Jordan, Wingate on it. Another steal by Hersey Hawkins. In trouble, gets it back to Kemp. Now Wingate. And Gary Payton, who, by the way, has a triple-double tonight.
Early.
The 6th of his career, very early. 10 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists, and 5 steals. And Scottie Pippen has just picked up his 5th foul.
Look at the defense that Seattle is playing on Michael Jordan. That's 2 bodies right there. Wingate doing a great job. Cummings does a great job getting back and they're playing the lanes on him. That's nice D. That's what they want him to do, is work, double team him.
Pippen, with his 5th foul, stays on the floor. Rodman re-enters the game and takes the place of Dickie Simpkins.
Rodman set a long time for him, the way he was playing.
He guards Kemp. Kemp takes him on the baseline, and Rodman picks up the foul.
You can see that Shawn Kemp is taking the ball to the basket. He sat on that bench. He was thinking, when I get back in the game, I'm going to the basket, and that's what he's doing. He's drawing fouls instead of getting fouls now.
Kemp really the aggressor here since he came back on the floor at the start of the 4th quarter. 5:28 remaining in this one. Payton, little runner, no. Pippen tips it to himself.
You've seen very few breaks by the Bulls. Transition D we talked about as a key to this game. So far, Seattle has done a better job getting back.
Another whistle and foul on Wingate. Away from the ball, and he is upset.
You know, he's thinking, I'm working so hard, and to call that hold, and he probably did hold Michael Jordan, but that's a call that's not made a lot.
That one away from the ball. Here's Pippen. And Wingate again.
He did that one. Now he's upset again because he's still upset at the last one, but he went up under the guy's legs. You should get a foul.
Look how quickly his teammates, Kemp, Hawkins, and Payton, come over to calm him down. Here's the one that got him down.
That's the first one right here that got him mad. And they are tangled up, but it's both of them. It's not just Wingate doing it. It's both guys, Michael and Wingate.
Wingate now switches over to take Steve Kerr.
Double team on Michael, 40 feet away from the basket.
Gets the return pass and puts it in.
And it still didn't work. 40 feet away from the basket. They're double teaming him.
3-point game, 4:36 remaining. Hawkins, Kerr guards it. Rodman has Kemp, double team from Bushler. Offensive foul. That's 5 fouls on Kemp.
Kemp's laughing, he's upset, but that was a great move by Dennis Rodman. Move in your feet on the post. So people think post defense sometimes is just banging. That's moving your feet and anticipating. Dennis Rodman did a great job.
Was there just a little bit of a flop there?
Look where this trap is. He's almost at half court, and he's being trapped. One rule, never let the guy split the trap. Michael Jordan did that. He gets the ball back, and he gets a layup.
Kemp with 5 fouls. He stays on the floor. Pippen with 5, also still on the floor. Alley-oop. Rodman. Offensive foul on Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, he pushed off in Shawn Kemp's back. Michael's upset because he couldn't get that ball. The pass was a little high. You'll get a look here, and look at this pass. It's a little too high for Michael to get. That's a touch call. That's a touch call. He did push off, but that is a touch call.
Now Phil Jackson's going to talk with Delaney. And while they chat, we'll remind you that coming up on Turner Sports tomorrow night, the Pacers in Atlanta against the Hawks. Next Tuesday night, Minnesota is in Houston. Doc and I will be there. And a week from tomorrow night, Detroit and the New York Knicks. Shawn Kemp with the free throw.
Yeah, and that last call, in Dennis' mind, he's being picked on. It wasn't a great call, to be honest, Vern. It was a call you don't make. Dennis didn't do anything to get that foul. It was more that it was Dennis Rodman was there, and he's usually the guy who does the pushing. It was probably an anticipated call that didn't happen. But now he's thinking, see, they're picking on me again.
And Kemp gets both free throws. The lead is 5, 4:10 to go.
Boy, every time the Bulls make a run, the Sonics answer.
Payton guards Jordan now. Hawkins out on Kerr. Sam Perkins back on the floor. Wingate is on the bench. Here's Michael. 2. He's got 22 in the game.
Yeah, and he's starting to get into this game and try to take it over offensively. You know, everyone talks about how bad the offense is in this league. This is a 73-70 game with 3.5 minutes left, and you can't tell me that this is not a great game to watch.
Absolutely. Two teams both averaging over 100 yards points per game. That one is off the foot of Sean Kemp. No, it's not.
Wow.
Whoa. It will be Seattle ball. But before they put it in bounds, George Karl called timeout. There it is. Good call.
Wow.
Good camera work. Time is out. Go today. Michael Jordan emerged from his car with two simple words: I'm back. And then on the 19th, one night later, Chicago took on the Indiana Pacers in his first game back. Not a great night, but memorable for all of us because Jordan was indeed back in uniform. He scored 19 points in that first game. Reggie Miller calling for a foul with his last basket tonight. He went over 2,000 points for the season. That is the 10th season in which he has accomplished that. Karl Malone also has equaled that one.
And if you can't hear Vern, that's because the crowd has just made it into the arena.
Perkins, tough shot. Pippen with the rebound. A 3-point margin with 3:22 remaining in regulation. Longley. Perkins has him. Now Jordan goes by Gary Payton, takes the jumper short. Tip, go.
Wow. Luke Longley is playing big, and so is Steve Kerr. They're picking up the slack for Tony Kukoc tonight.
Longley with 14 points, and it's a 1-point game again. Chicago has not led. Kerr, good defense on Hawkins. 6 in the shot clock for the Sonics. Tough shot, no. Rebound, Jordan.
Boy, I tell you, Steve Kerr, everyone talks about his shooting. He is a much underrated defensive player.
Jordan and Chicago with a chance for its first lead of the night. Kerr, Longley, got it!
Kerr and Longley playing with each other. Great pass by Steve Kerr.
A 6-0 run, the first Chicago lead of the evening. Where they are 31-1 this season, the United Center. Kemp. Jordan with a rebound.
And that's a shot he took in the first quarter. He hasn't taken one since. They need Kemp to take him off the dribble and take it to the basket.
Longley underneath. Jordan. Kemp. Foul.
Gave it to Scottie Pippen.
And that is 6. He's out.
Yes, and you could see Scottie right away. That foul could have been given to either guy, and it's unusual that the star guy gets it. Scottie got the foul. That's a big foul.
Only the second disqualification of the season for Scottie Pippen.
You look at these two guys, Hershey Hawkins and Steve Kerr. Everyone talks about both of them offense, but that's great defense by Steve Kerr right there. And he backs it up with a great pass cutting to Luke Longley. Nice finish. That's tough for a big man to catch the ball on the move and finish the shot.
Ron Harper will replace Scottie Pippen.
Not only are they going to miss Scottie's offense, but what they really miss is his defense. He is really long, he's active, and they need him, and that's why you're going with a guy like Ron Harper who has some of that quickness.
Kemp gets one more.
But the difference on the last two plays for Seattle, the first play, Sean Kemp settles for a jump shot, nothing. Chicago gets a break, score. Second time, Sean Kemp comes down, posts up, does a strong post-out move, and what happens? Scottie Pippen fouls out, and that's what they need him to do. They need Kemp to stay down on the post.
Kemp 1 of 2, and it's a 2-point Chicago lead. Rodman guarded by Kemp, who plays with 5 fouls. What a role Steve Kerr and Luke Longley have had here in the fourth quarter. Here's Jordan. taken away. 6 steals by Gary Payton, but an ill-advised attempt to get the ball to Hersey Hawkins.
That play was caused by Michael Jordan. He forced Gary Payton to try to get rid of the ball earlier than he wanted to.
On the baseline, Rodman in control as he went across the end line. It'll be Seattle ball.
Tried to call a timeout and thought he was fouled.
Watch Rodman. There's the foot on the line. By then, it was a moot point. Time has been called. Chicago has 3 timeouts, no fouls to give. Neither team has a 20. And Seattle in a drought. They have not scored a field goal in the last 5 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's that defense, that Chicago defense. You know both teams are going to step up, and they're both playing great defense. Chicago needed a defensive run, and they've made one.
Gary Payton, Sam Perkins, Hersey Hawkins, Kemp, and Nate McMillan fill the floor for Seattle. Scottie Pippen fouled out with 1:40 to go. Ron Harper came on the floor to take his place. Steve Kerr, Michael Jordan, Luke Longley, and Dennis Rodman complete the list for the Bulls.
3-guard lineup by both teams. Seattle's doing it because they want to spread the floor. They're going to try to get a 3 off here if possible.
Sam Perkins guarded by Rodman. Peeks inside for Sean Kemp. Oh, tough effort, and a foul is called in the low post.
That is a nice, strong move by Sean Kemp. Look at this, and that's why he gets the foul. He gets the foul more on that effort. Refs see effort, and they give him a foul.
Longley with the foul. Here's Kemp at the free throw line. He's now 4 of 6 tonight. If he makes the next one, we're tied again.
And it's tough for the Bulls right now because not only now do you have Tony Kukoc out of the game, you have Scottie Pippen out of the game. Who are they going to go to? It's Michael Jordan. Their second and third option are off. Seattle's going to double, maybe even triple team Jordan from this point off.
Kemp misses the chance to tie.
And that's a big miss.
Cummings back on in place of Perkins. Here's Kerr guarded by Hawkins. Payton. Jordan, foul. That may be on Kemp. If so, he's gone.
It is on Kemp. Look at Michael Jordan going. Gary Payton was crying, thinking that he got hooked. That was just a great, explosive move by Michael Jordan. Again, proof that he still has fresh legs.
Sean Kemp fouls out for the 10th time this season. He joins Scottie Pippen on their respective benches, and Michael Jordan goes to the free throw line.
But the loss is not as great as it is for Scottie and the Bulls. Sean Kemp, obviously a great player. Don't want him to foul out, but you got a lot of other offensive weapons on the Seattle Supersonics. You don't have those weapons with the Bulls. You have Michael Jordan.
The lead is 2. Now it's 3 and timeout Seattle. With 35 seconds remaining in regulation. Sonics down by 3. Do they go for the 3-point shot now?
Well, you go for it if you can get it, but this is a 2-for-1 situation here. There's 34.7 seconds left. You want to get a quick shot up. No matter what you do, is get a quick shot up. If you make a 2, you still have a chance of playing defense and getting the ball back and scoring. If not, foul. Otherwise, go for the 3 if you can get it. They would love for Sam Perkins or Hersey Hawkins to get a nice look for a 3 right here. I can tell you that. This is a gambling team.
Hawkins is 3 of 6 from 3-point range tonight. Sam Perkins 0 for 1. Nate McMillan will inbound. For the season, you see their respective averages. Gary Payton is 2 for 7 tonight.
The reason Perkins has a better shot at getting a 3 off right now because guys guarding him. I don't care how many times you tell Dennis Rodman or Luke Longley to go out behind that 3. It's not natural for them to guard guys behind the 3. And that's why Perkins keeps getting open 3s.
Rodman has Perkins right now. McMillan calls time. Difficulty getting it inbounds. And that is their final timeout.
And that's a big timeout, obviously. And not only that, the Bulls got a chance to look at what they were doing. They got a chance to see if they were trying to make a 3 or a 2 on that play.
Well, if you just did join us, it's been intense in the second half. It's been close throughout. No larger than an 8-point lead, and Chicago never had the lead until 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining regulation.
And that's why they're so good at home. They never panicked. You understood. We knew that they were going to come back, and they did come back. They have a 3-point lead now. Keys for them is Scottie Pippen is out. They must have a defensive stand right here. They don't want to get in the scoring thing with Seattle because they don't have enough bullets right now.
Percy Hawkins, 3 of 6 from 3-point range. Dennis Rodman sat for much of the second half. Sean Kemp is fouled out. Well, we said at the outset it was a statement game only for one of the two teams.
Yeah, really. And to be honest, the statement has already been made.
And now we'll see if during the timeout they might have changed the play call.
Yeah, well, they have to because the Bulls know exactly who they were going to. It looked like that first time they were going to try to get the ball to Sam Perkins. You could see him waiting for someone to pick him. If you look at now, if they're going to try to go for the 3, it would be Hersey Hawkins.
Inbounds to Terry Cummings. Cummings gets it back out for Perkins. Takes it. Didn't get it. Loose ball. Cummings has it. In the corner for Payton. It's foul is called on Longley. And he'll shoot 3 free throws.
Oh, what a big call. And you know what? That was a great rebound. Great job by Seattle. They took the gamble that Dennis Rodman would help. He did. Sam Perkins got a wide open look at it. Look at the defense. Look at the great rebound and presence of mind that they had time on the clock.
Payton gets the first. He's got 2 more opportunities for the season. A 70% free throw shooter. He's 3 of 3 tonight.
Made the first 2 easy.
Chicago calls timeout. Trying, I guess, to ice the glove.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that anymore in this league. I think he's been in tougher situations.
Foul call in saloons around Chicago late into the night. Take another look.
And they won't be real happy at it either because I think that this is a bad call. I thought Luke Longley got ball first, if you look, and then hit hand. The ball is already out of his hand. If you remember a couple years ago, Knicks, Hugh Hollins, you've been bailed out.
Hubert Davis?
Yes.
And during the timeout, Phil Jackson was all over Luke Longley.
Yeah, that's interesting because Luke Longley tried to make a play, and I think he had to be yelling at him about something else. You usually don't get on the player for trying to make a play.
For the tie with 20.8 left. We're notched at 78.
Now this is where they're going to miss Scottie Pippen. You can see them getting the ball out of Michael's hand already.
Longley guarded by Perkins. 8 to go. Kerr, left side. Harper drives. No foul is called. Loose ball. We're going to overtime. Ron Harper in a state of disbelief.
Yeah, he thought he was hit with the body, and I was blocked out, unfortunately, so I couldn't get a good look at it.
Let's take a look at the last 7.
The key here is that Michael Jordan could not make the shot. They were not going to let him do it. He did get bodied. He got hit. That was a call you can make, but that was a call I'm glad they did make because Ron Harper didn't have control of the basketball, and they didn't bail him out.
Okay. In the league at home, Chicago, or rather Utah, is fairly close. The only defeat for Chicago came back on December 7th to Miami. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Ver, during that timeout, as we start overtime, George Karl gave his team a pep talk. He said, guys, remember, Scottie Pippen is not there. The post-ups are going to be there. The passing lane is going to be open. Let's be aggressive coming out of this timeout. Vern?
And that's a great point. The passing lanes. Remember the passing lanes. That's what Scottie Pippen plays so well, our passing lanes. Without him, they don't have that long, quick, athletic body defending other guys.
78-78 as we go to overtime, and that one's going to be out of bounds. George Karl trying to find an offensive answer for his team. Seattle scoreless from the field in the last 6 minutes and 27 seconds of regulation.
Yeah, but you know what? They're in overtime, so they're happy. They made 7 of the 9 free throws, and that's why they're in overtime.
Tell you what, you look up at the scoreboard, you think Cleveland's playing Detroit. 78-78 with two teams who are among the top 4 scoring teams in the league. Chicago, of course, leads the NBA. But it has been tense.
And you knew that was about to come. Gary Payton and Michael Jordan are going to war right now down on the post. And you knew somebody, either they were going to call a double foul or something was going to happen. You can see them all the way up here. They are fighting for position right there. And you knew eventually one of them would get a foul.
Third foul on Gary Payton. Here's Steve Kerr, big factor in the fourth quarter. Ron Harper guarded by Nate McMillan. Rodman, Jordan, miscommunication. That one's knocked out of bounds, and it will be Seattle's ball.
And they're doing a bad job right now of getting to Michael the ball when he needs it. And he came down and pointed to Ron Harper, get it to me early, because if you wait, they're fronting and it's too late to get it to him. They have to get him the ball right away if they're going to get it to him, and he wants it in the post.
Chicago has only 2 points in the game since Scottie Pippen fouled out. So they haven't been a juggernaut offensively. Here's the trap from Harper to Perkins. Got it.
Yeah, and again, he does not like guarding people that's bigger than him, and they know that. They're going to go to Sam Perkins a little bit right here. The Bulls need to get the ball to Michael Jordan and get it in his hand.
Harper kicks it back to Kerr. Hawkins is there. Now Longley, 10 on the shot clock. The switch with Perkins out on Harper. Payton all over Michael Jordan. Help comes from Nate McMillan. Oh, what a fadeaway. Shot clock violation.
That's what we call a frustration shot. You don't see very many of them from Michael Jordan. But look at the defense from Gary Payton. All over him. You're getting help from Nate McMillan. They know who the only guy on this team who can create a shot now is Michael Jordan. They know that. The Bulls are going to have a tough time scoring the rest of this game.
21 turnovers for Chicago. Gary Payton, whose 3 free throws tied it up and sent it into overtime on that controversial foul called on Luke Longley. Cummings. Rebound, Jordan.
I don't know if that's the shot they want.
I don't think so.
You know, we talk about the first 9 seconds and the last 9 seconds. That was right in the middle, a little too quick.
Nearing 3 minutes in overtime. Longley, Kerr. Foul. And he's deadly from the free throw line.
That's the triangle offense, and that's why the Bulls still have a chance of scoring some points, even if Michael doesn't get it, because they have movement. If you have guys moving, you might get open, and that's what happened. Watch Steve Kerr. This is a great cut by him. Nice recognition by Luke Longley getting it to him.
Bulls lead by 1.
And Kirk can shoot free throws so well, he made it even though he cursed them. Guys usually miss when you say that, Vern.
2:50 to go. McMillan guarded by Ron Harper. Back to Cummings. Longley has it. They kick it out. Good defense by Chicago. Terry Cummings. Jordan with a rebound. Foul on Cummings.
And that's a frustration foul on Terry Cummings.
Michael Jordan with 17 rebounds tonight.
You know, he does it in a lot of other ways. He scores so many points. It's tough not to look at that, but he's a great defender, and he has a great defender on him right now.
And he'll go to the free throw line. They call it on Payton, his fourth.
They're playing so well. The defense is so tight right here. Now, earlier you could call it. Right there, that's a tough call. That's a tough call. I would say that's not a very good call because you could call it at any time. They're playing so physical right now, you can make the call whenever you want to.
Michael Jordan with 27 points and 17 rebounds, but look at the other side of the ledger, 8 turnovers.
That's from being double and triple team. That's from not having Scottie Pippen on the court and Tony Kukoc on the court. He has to make plays for this entire team.
Bulls by 3.
Big possession for Seattle right here.
Well, they've had 2 Terry Cummings shots, and they probably would like to have back their last 2 times down. Hawkins. Oh, man. Oh, what a big shot.
Big shot and great pick. Great pick by Sam Perkins. You can see right now Steve Kerr rubbing his leg because he got pounded. That's why he wasn't there.
That's 4 threes in the game for Hersey Hawkins. Now here's Longley, gives it to Harper. McMillan picks him up. Hawkins is on Kerr, and Payton follows Jordan, trying to get loose along the baseline. 5 on the shot clock. It's in the hands of Ron Harper. Going to be a tough shot. But Longley is there to tip it out. Loose ball foul called on Luke Longley. Wow. And that's 6 on Longley.
That's another big call. I'm surprised at the call. He did say that Luke Longley hooked him. I thought he went over his back. I didn't see the hook. See, I thought the foul was right there. They called it late, and I didn't see that. I thought he did go over his back.
That was a little quicker than it happened.
Yeah, boy.
Longley fouls out. 16 points. Take a look at it again.
This is a little slower for us to watch. That was the foul they're going to call it. Right there, that was Sam Perkins hooking.
1:23 to go. Perkins guarded by Rodman. Now Payton. Here's Hawkins for 3 again. Oh, my goodness.
That's a misdirection play. The Bulls are thinking that the play is Gary Payton posting up, but that had nothing to do with what the Sonics wanted to do. They set a double screen for Hersey Hawkins, and you can see the double team in half court on Mike. He's not getting the ball.
Back-to-back trays for Hersey Hawkins. We near the 1-minute mark in overtime. Jordan for 3, off the mark. The tip for Rodman. A 1-point game. Here comes Gary Payton. Cummings sets the pick on Michael Jordan. It was a hard one. Cummings back to Perkins. 4-3. No. Loose ball foul. Who'd they get?
Terry Cummings, and it was a good call. I tell you what, Terry Cummings could have got several fouls on that play. I thought he said an illegal pick on Michael Jordan, and that's probably why he got that call there. You can watch it here. Terry Cummings goes over Michael Jordan's back or runs into him. Yeah, that's a clear foul.
35.7 left. Jordan at the free throw line.
And that's too bad because this is the way you don't want the Bulls getting points. You really, with Scotty and Tony out of the game, you really want them to earn their baskets. You don't want to put them on the free throw line.
Jordan is now 9 of 10 from the free throw line tonight and has 1 more for the lead. .30 points, Michael Jordan.
You think he's struggling. He has a ton of rebounds. He has 30 points. He doesn't struggle very often.
Rodman with the putback. Then the Jordan free throws, and they lead by 1.
Here she comes. Right on.
It was the first that tied the game. And then on their next possession, a misdirection play. They found Hersey Hawkins to give them, at that moment, a 3-point edge. But then a putback from Dennis Rodman and 2 free throws from Michael Jordan. Chicago is back on top.
And if you give Hersey Hawkins time, he makes the shots, and that's what he does. And I would say, if you look at the guys on the court right now, I think they're going to go back to Hersey. They should, because he's on fire right now.
Nate McMillan will inbound. Rodman and Jordan both with 17 rebounds to lead the team. Good defense by Rodman on Perkins, and time called by Seattle.
Well, good defense because he held him the entire play. And that's what the Seattle Sonics are upset about. If you look at these guys right now, they can't believe it because he held that entire play and got away with it.
What you got to do. What you got to do.
And I tell you what, it's not a bad thing because you make guys make calls. That's a tough thing. Isaiah Thomas told me that a long time ago when I was first coming in the league. He said, down the stretch, take liberties because it's tough for anyone to make a call, especially a touch call.
Coming up tomorrow night over on our sister station TBS, the Indiana Pacers remaining. No 20s, no fouls to give. Chicago all 3 timeouts. And the tactics?
Well, it's the same situation as the first time. This time they don't need a 3. They want to get the ball to Hersey Hawkins, and somehow they're going to do it. The last 2 times they've done it with misdirection and a double pick. This time they'll do it again. They'll set some kind of double or triple pick for Hersey Hawkins to get him the basketball. If he can't get it, look for Gary Payton to try to take somebody one-on-one. But the 3 guys you have to watch out for, Hawkins is number 1, Gary Payton is number 2, and Sam Perkins is always dangerous.
Hawkins is guarded by Steve Kerr. Now there's the pick for Perkins to get the ball in play, and McMillan has it back in his hands.
And you can see it being set up right here. Hersey Hawkins is getting a double screen.
Kerr still has it. Here's Terry Cummings. Back in the hands of McMillan. They've got 10 on the shot clock. Now here's Gary Payton guarded by Michael Jordan.
The play broke down, so they go to Gary Payton.
Oh, my gracious, what a shot.
Wow. He almost made that shot. Oh. This is a nice move, and it's with his left hand, people.
So close.
And now the Bulls are saying, where was the foul? He bodied him. Michael got him with the body, and I think that was a good call.
One more to take the lead. 3 free throws by Gary Payton forced this thing into overtime. He's got the triple-double, the 6th of his career, 14 points, 12 rebounds, and 14 assists. His first miss from the line tonight.
And it's good not making a timeout because now Seattle does not have a chance to set their defense up. I can't believe in that trapping right away.
Oh, a clean block. No, foul is called. McMillan is going to be called for the foul. I thought he got all ball.
Wow.
I thought it was an absolutely clean block.
They're calling it on Gary Payton. It was a late call. Let's take a look. Now, you can call a hand check right there, but they didn't call that. He did. That was a good call. He hit Michael Jordan on the arm. I don't know who they gave it to, but that was a good call. That's a nice call by the ref. He called it a little late, but Nate McMillan absolutely hit Michael Jordan on the arm, and right when he hit him on the arm, he lost the basketball.
He's 10 of 11 at the line tonight.
You know, Seattle right now feels like they're being robbed. They think they're getting the Jordan rules, but that was a good call. The only thing you can say is he had no chance of making the shot. Now, if that's me shooting it, that's true. But that was Michael Jordan. He might have made that shot.
Two-point Chicago edge with 3 seconds remaining in overtime. And we had the benefit of the replay on McMillan. I initially did think he got all ball.
I thought he got all ball, too. And that proves one thing. The refs are better than us, and that's why we're doing the games and they're reffing the games. I thought he got all ball. That was a nice call, and that was a gutty call.
Let's look at it from a different angle.
Now, take a look right here. Right when Michael Jordan goes up, you'll see right there on the arm, and that's right when he loses the ball. Nate McMillan is the guy who fouled him. I don't know who they gave the foul to, but it was a foul.
They gave the foul to Gary Payton.
So they got that part of it wrong. And Gary Payton is thinking, I didn't foul him, and he's right.
One more look.
But you can look at it right here. He hits him right across, right there. You can see it right there, and immediately the ball comes out.
Well, recall that this game went to overtime because of a controversial call made by one of the officials on Luke Longley, a three-point effort from Gary Payton. And now with 3 seconds remaining, McMillan's foul, though it was given to Gary Payton.
I tell you what, this game is a nightmare for the refs because the players have made them make some tough calls, and they've stepped up and made them. I wouldn't want that situation if I'm a ref.
Well, Scottie Pippen can enjoy it for the moment, even though he's on the bench. 3 seconds remaining. McMillan will inbound.
Now, you know, they want to go to one or two guys again, Sam Perkins or Hersey Hawkins. Sam Perkins might be an easier target because if the play breaks down at all else, you know you can get him the ball because he's so long.
Three seconds to go in overtime. Hawkins guarded by Kerr. Puts it up. No. The tip. No. Wow. Ball's win.
Wow. And he got a great look at it, too.
They got their first lead with 2:20 remaining in regulation. They win it in overtime. And let's go over to Craig Sager with Michael Jordan.
Well, Michael, it's a tough haul. You didn't get the lead till late in the ball game, and then you had to carry the load with Tony hurt, and also with Scottie in foul trouble, and also Luke in foul trouble. Tough game.
It was a tough game. I mean, it was a gut game for us, and you know, a lot of calls could have went a lot of different ways, and I guess the home court advantage was in our favor tonight, and you know, it was a gut game. You know, Pippen didn't have a great game offensively. Neither I didn't shoot the ball particularly well. You know, that tells you how much we miss Tony Kukoc in that lineup. He certainly could come in and pick up when Scottie and I are not able to carry the load offensively. But we got a great game from Luke, and that was a big help for us.
You lost 2 games recently. People said that maybe Michael Jordan's legs were tired. You have Seattle coming in, a finalist from last year. Was this a message game for you guys?
It's a message game. I think, you know, we're starting to get ourselves back into a good rhythm. For that, you know, last week it was a bad week for us, and every team goes through that. I mean, we're not immune to that. And you know, but now we seem to have a good feel for ourselves. Our offense is starting to come around. We're starting to get more practice so we can get a rhythm together. And come playoff time, we'll be back.
I don't want to change the subject. We had a tribute to Dean Smith at halftime. I know you couldn't be there because you had a game on Saturday night, but your thoughts on Dean Smith?
I'm very happy for Coach. I mean, he downplays a lot of things, and, you know, showed the modesty that he has. And, you know, we, as all players who've gone through that program, respect him as a father in some ways, and certainly we feel he's one of the best coaches ever, and he's certainly deserving of that respect.
Thanks a lot for being with us. Now let's go back to Vern, Doc, and Luke.